what unconventional or peculiar situation unfolded that exposed the fact you were being cheated on by your partner? Our dog died. My husband had a female coworker that he raved about her artistic skills. I asked if she could paint an urn for our dog's ashes. She did. I got her a Sephora gift card and signed it with my name and his before sealing it. He didn't think to check and just gave her the gift card. This triggered her husband to look into who I was, since he also worked with them and my husband had never mentioned being married. This somehow led to him discovering my husband and his wife were having an affair, and since he found out my name through the gift card, he reached out through Facebook to break the news. I opened her laptop to order a pizza and her browser was on real estate listings. We weren't looking to buy a house, she was house hunting with the guy she was cheating on me with. I was deployed and she sent me some racy pics. You could see the dude who took them in the reflection in the window. My boyfriend of 2 years was sleeping and I was up watching TV. I got a Facebook Messenger notification and was surprised to look and see that some girl was sending me nudes. Upon further investigation, it looked like the message was meant for my boyfriend. He had logged into Messenger on my phone. I looked back at the messages and they had been talking and exchanging photos for months. I think he wanted me to find it, honestly. We split up immediately after. It was weird how my girlfriend seemed to know where my buddy kept his hidden liquor when we got drunk at his house. I was tending bar in the Japanese restaurant we owned while two of her friends were drinking and gossiping. They didn't know I understood a lot of Japanese but never spoke it. As they were discussing how they liked my wife's new boyfriend better than her old one, I realized neither of the guys they were talking about was me. We were going to travel together in Europe and he had let on with heavy hints that he was going to propose. The eve of, I got a message from an unknown number, the woman he had been cheating on me with. She asked if we had gotten back together. We had been dating for 9 years at that point. He had been with her for 4 of those years. Her boyfriend ordered Uber and my friend picked them up. Ex-partner told me they went to a pool hall to play late into the night. It was a pool hall my dad used to take me to as a kid, so I was chatting with Dad about it. Dad told me the pool hall burned to the ground about a month before. I found the bank statements to an entirely separate secret bank account he'd opened. He was funneling all his expense checks into it, and had funneled his $3,000 Christmas bonus there too. He'd told me he didn't get a Christmas bonus that year. I had scrambled, truly scrambled, to make Christmas happen for all SIX. 4 of them were his brought to the marriage kids due to this. It was early 2000s, so $3,000 was a lot of money. That made me think back on the Yahoo message that popped up on his screen just weeks prior. The moment he logged in, some girl was asking, "Hey, what are you up to?" Even though I already knew he'd cheated on his first wife, he had gaslit the hell out of me, saying it was a spam message like random catfishers are just starting Yahoo Messenger conversations the very moment he goes online on a regular basis. The bank statements were what really opened my eyes though. It was a solid $6,000 plus, and he tried to tell me it was for a tattoo fund. He was not getting his full body tattooed, and he certainly wasn't going to some god-level tattoo artist that would require $7,000 plus for any normal size tattoo, not even a big full shoulder piece like he already had. He got pulled over on his way to my apartment and was arrested for a warrant. I went to retrieve his car, and as I was approaching, the officer looks at me and asks, "Are you Brittany?" He said the car was registered to someone named Brittany. My name is, in fact, not Brittany or even close. Our toddler brought me his secret cell phone, so I held onto it and watched the Kiko F life notifications roll in for 2 days while he panicked trying to find it. I was really naive and should have known better. X and his BFF, a girl, wanted to go with another friend of mine to Dewey. I don't do drugs, so I really didn't understand what effect that has or really anything about drug culture. So I am like, cool, see you guys later. Next day my friend, who they had spent the evening with, comes over to my apartment early. He wants to intercept me before I go pick up my BF. He tells me that my BF and his friend were all over each other the whole night, and laughing about how stupid I was, how they were just using me, and how much money he had already stolen from me. That's one of the rare times of my life I've ever shown myself any self-respect. Instead of picking up him and his twat, my BFF roommate and I drove down there, and I told him it was over. I told him he could pick up all of his things whenever he wanted to, at the police department main hub for my town. I knew he had drug paraphernalia in his stuff. Dave, if you ever see this, I love you. You are an awesome person and an awesome friend. I tweeted a lyric to a Life Jennings song, hypothetically, or is it just too big a secret to keep it on the low? And my best friend at the time sends me a DM asking me, do you know, yeah, she was sleeping with my BF. I of course introduced her to him. That was my way of finding out. I wouldn't wish that heartbreak on anybody. Lost my best friend and boyfriend in one night while dealing with the recent death of my grandmother. Ran into dude at a bar 10 years later and he had the nerve to tell me I didn't deserve that. Like, yeah, I know. Thank you for reminding me. A letter was addressed to me and placed in my mailbox without postage. In it the person claimed that she was pregnant with my BF''s baby and that I needed to break up with him for the sake of their baby. I went round to his house because I was not feeling well from a medical procedure and wanted to stay the night. Turns out someone else was already staying the night as her car was parked in my spot. We fought in the street for hours. I was with this man for years. He was a perfect, attentive partner and we had a lot of fun together. After a couple of years we moved in together. I had a home office because I was doing school on top of my full-time job. He would often use the computer in my office. No big deal. What's mine is yours. After a couple of years I kept seeing sticky notes with this weird chain of letters. I thought it was odd but didn't think anything of it. He went on a trip to the city with his mom. Thought nothing of it. He called me from the hotel saying that he left a code for a video game in my office. I found the sticky note and gave him the code. But I got curious so I typed the code into Google. It brought me to a site for hookups and his profile, which was just a picture of his dick with a request for young women up for butt stuff and better if her partner will join. I was shocked. I had no idea that this was going on. I was scrolling through random TikToks when one showed up because he followed her on there and it recommended that I follow her too. There was one video on her page of a screenshot of a conversation between them with a Love Duvet song on it and his contact name was Lover, with his picture. Saved the video, screenshotted it and spoke to her and she told me everything. It had been going on for about 4 months. I moved out and he went back to his mother's in early January. My sister passed away. By her own hand. I felt lost hearing the news and the morning after wound up going through an old email account in the vain hope she had sent me something. Instead I found an email telling me of my husband's infidelity.